They're going to red flag the event. They're going to stop the field, restart the race, and try and settle it.
Almost turned him again.
Man, this is wild back here on the back straightaway. Got Bowyer giving a big,
Hamlin
goes around. I bet that fender caused that right rear tire to go down. Logano in it again. This one's going to take the 48 of Jimmie Johnson out this time. Oh, we got one, maybe two cars that just crossed the line that might be left in this race. Wow.
2.5. And about 3 more coming. Back straightaway.
Huge push come from Clint Bowyer and Joey Logano to the rear bumper of Chase Elliott. Sends the 11, Denny Hamlin, into turn 3. Watch this car just go around. You know that that's a tire that went down. Had to be.
Hamlin has said on the radio he lost the right rear.
Well, and he was afraid of that. That's what that conversation between him and his crew chief, Chris Gabehart. They're worried about that tire rub.
Here's Hamlin's radio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I felt the turn went into. I tried to hold on. No chance. Oh, I seen it. You did a hell of a job. More darn ball you did, man.
Now we are under the red flag. Cars are parked on the backstretch, including Chase Elliott, the leader. 20 laps and the field comes by the start-finish line under caution. A few sprinkles in turn 2 have halted things temporarily. A wall of water swept across this racetrack. Just a deluge.
Here's the big one. Man.
Well, there goes half the field.
Sure does. You can see Joey Logano really aggressive to the rear bumper of the 10. He's going to push him all the way up to the 2. And they just, right before the 10 gets there, there's a little bit of movement. And that little bit of movement, when you make that much contact, turns your car right around. That's exactly what happened to Brad Keselowski and the 10 of Almirola. Really, I mean, Aric Almirola was basically the meat between the sandwich there. He's getting pushed from Joey Logano. He's going up to the rear bumper. He has no choice but to bump draft the 2.
No work allowed under the red flag. Alex Bowman is back to pit road. 2 to go.
Boy, that was just textbook by Denny Hamlin. Can he put the block on? Oh, car. 77.
Oh, God, they're right behind you.
That was Ross Chastain. Got down on the apron, turned him sideways up the racetrack.
Straight into Ryan Preece.
Chase Elliott involved.
Another multi-car pileup. With 2 to go, we'll go to overtime. There's the Connecticut Kids car.
Joey Logano.
Logano's got a flat left rear and trouble on the right front. Ty Dillon stuck in the grass. No rear deck lid or spoiler.
Well, that's a big hit by Ross Chastain.
He wants to make it around to pit road to load the car.
Yeah, I believe so. Where this worked out so well for Hamlin, gets down in front of the 6 and really stalled out this whole lane, continued his momentum, although the 17 right there was going to the outside, maybe going to make that pass. Chris Buescher, heck of a move there to get to the outside. He might have taken the lead.
Newman, both lucky and skilled to make it through without damage. That 34 McDowell, with hardly any damage, gets through. Clint Bowyer undamaged, still in it in 4th place.
The real question is, are we done yet?
Matt?
And Adam Stevens told Kyle Busch, if there's an 80% chance that you think we can finish this race, let's just stay out and not pit.
Okay.
Oh, and now look at this.
Mother Nature is as happy about this development as Chase Elliott. The sky is crying. There's a lot of moisture on the way, so this is just that little drop of green, just a little bit of pop-up. And the heavy stuff isn't going to come down for quite some time.
Hey, Larry Mack, how's old Chris Gabehart's choice looking now, buddy?
Well, it's looking pretty good, and the way I'm looking at what's going on right now, this may be the first time that a driver running second is liking the rain as much as the guy that's leading the race right now with all that damage that he has on that 18 car.
Looks like they're going to bring the field down pit road this time with 20 laps to go. And hopefully this is a brief shower. There is quite a gap. Not sure in terms of time. Looks about 20 miles on the map. Not sure about the time because they've not lost the track in that the track is not completely wet from this brief shower. There's the big stuff forming to the south down at Lake Marion and working its way up I-95. Matt, what's the atmosphere?
Okay.
Well.
Okay, everything has happened here tonight, but we are on.
So we're on Fox, FS1. I mentioned Lake Marion. That's named for Francis Marion, the swamp fox of the Revolutionary War. David Pearson was the silver fox. Had a lot of wins here at Darlington. We could go on and on and on. Matt, what's the atmosphere down there other than damp?
Well, as you mentioned, you're looking at the Fox. Everyone just sitting on the wall waiting to see if we do indeed get this event going back rolling. It's not raining at this point, although pit road is definitely wet. And Chris Gabehart was telling Denny Hamlin on the radio a few moments ago that their box here on pit road is soaked, but they're just waiting to see exactly what happens.
All right, no foxes have been harmed in the running of this race. Denny Hamlin will go to victory lane. NASCAR has called the race for rain, and Hamlin will pick up his 39th career win tonight, second of the season after winning the Daytona 500, and his third Darlington win in 16 attempts. He now becomes the 14th driver in history to win 3 races at the track too tough to tame. And he's won the first NASCAR Wednesday race since July 4th, 1984, when Richard Petty got his 200th victory. How about that mask? Denny.
He's got a smile on his face, Mike.
178th win for Joe Gibbs Racing and second of the season.
You know, I really think that the performance of this 95 team as the caution comes out.
Well, the vortex theory did not work tonight.
Well, Mike, I got to say, I didn't want to talk about this, but we have been so lucky up to this point to get this race going. There's been rain scattered all through the area this afternoon, and I think it was quite a blessing to get this many laps in to this point without any rain, but there's just some light showers, it looks like, in the area, so hopefully we don't lose the track here. Well, if there wasn't enough that was going to be thrown at these competitors in this 600 miles at Charlotte, throw a little rain in there, and, some delays, more time to think about it.
We've ended stage 2 and we've gone to halfway in tonight's Coca-Cola 600. And as the cars come around off turn 4, they'll be led down pit road for what is a fairly new NASCAR tradition. The cars will come to a halt as we pause during our 600 miles of remembrance. After an hour and 8-minute red flag in stage 1, stage 2 went green to checker without a caution. And Alex Bowman, your leader, has been out front now for 142 of the 202 laps. As you watch from our Geico drone, the field come off turn 4, and the pace car will lead them onto pit road single file. And although the stands here at Charlotte Motor Speedway and the infield are empty of fans, and we sure wish you could be here this Memorial Day weekend at the Speedway, and hopefully soon that will happen. We're going to ask all of you watching at home to participate with those who are here at the racetrack in this very solemn and unique part of our race. We'd like to ask everyone to please stand for a moment of remembrance to honor our servicemen and women who made the ultimate sacrifice so we could enjoy our freedoms this Memorial Day weekend. To honor the fallen from our U.S. Armed Forces, please join us in 30 seconds of silent remembrance. A grateful nation thanks you. The engines fire, and the pace car will lead them around to the opening of pit road for service. The freedoms we all enjoy and sometimes take for granted are certainly remembered here this Memorial Day weekend. You can see off turn number 2, a lot of lightning and a big storm system that has worked its way up here from the south. Hopefully that's not part of that tropical depression that hung around all last night at the Speedway, but it's a system that's going to blow through here pretty quickly, we all hope. Keselowski trying Hamlin for 4.
Oh, Stenhouse, heavy damage. Big wreck. Tyler Reddick, Cole Custer.
Oh, Ricky Stenhouse.
Bowman.
He is having a hero or zero kind of week. And it sounds as if Stenhouse may have gotten turned here, but it's Stenhouse, Bowman, Custer, and Reddick.
See Clint Boyer in the 14 on the bottom, 47 of Stenhouse. Here comes Jimmie Johnson. Comes off of turn 2. And he just makes contact with that left rear of the 47. I don't know if Stenhouse had to check up a little bit when he caught the 42 of Kenseth there, but just looked to me like maybe Jimmie misjudged getting in behind the 47 of Stenhouse.
I think Kurt Busch may also have some damage from that one.
Well, I'd like to see that one again.
Well, let's ride with Kurt Busch. I think he was just alongside or in front of it. Nope. Back of it, hard to tell there.
Ooh, oh, that's pretty heavy damage for Kurt Busch.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick got into the back of Kurt Busch. The race has been red flagged. Cars are stopped on the straightaway here on the front stretch.
Well, and I expect Tyler Reddick to be right up near the wall. I know those Xfinity cars have the composite bodies. You can lean on that wall a little bit more, so you got to be careful here in the Cup Series as the caution has come out.
Lightning and rain bringing the caution out here. And you noticed all of our coverage was from onboard. and robotically operated cameras mounted on the wall of the racetrack. Because of lightning within the last 30 minutes, our rooftop cameramen have not been allowed yet to go back to position.
And you can see that huge dark cloud in the distance there, but it is south of the racetrack, but it is close enough where if there's lightning in that cloud, then NASCAR has to react.
Well, we had not planned on racing from daylight into darkness, but that may well be the case today.
Yeah, and we know how much this track changes just from lap to lap, run to run, but especially when you go from daytime cool, warmer track temperatures into cooler nightfall, as this track, you'll gain a lot of grip, so teams are going to have to adjust to that.
As bright as the sky is to the northeast and the southwest, off to the east and southeast.
I like that shot.
Yeah, the blue sky. Let's bring that blue
really
sky
good
over here. But again, the track is dry, and we are under a hold for lightning in the immediate area.
Jeff, right now, Chase Elliott in that 9, he's able to pick the throttle up so much earlier off of 2 and get that run, a lot more than the other 2 he's racing with.
Caution's out.
And caution is out for lightning. At lap 32.
I was going to say, there's some lightning happening on the track. I hate that it's happening up in those clouds, man. We're seeing some good racing here early on.
Waiting for the red flag to be lifted due to lightning for the second time today. And the skies look better than they did when we had this red flag come out for lightning. Little sun poking through down at the south end of the racetrack there.
Pretty good amount of damage out. We got a caution due to rain in turn 1.
Yeah, Jeff, it's over a mile from one end of the speedway to the other, so very easy to have rain at one end of the racetrack while the rest of the speedway is dry. And Denny Hamlin's going to go a lap down.
Might as well change those left sides. They're trying to just change right sides and beat the leader off of pit road, but that did not happen. That caution almost saved them. They just couldn't quite get those right sides off fast enough to beat the leader and stay on the lead lap.
I'm afraid this shower has turned into a super soaker. As rain comes up from the southwest today, they'll bring the cars down pit road.
This is when you're loving this invert, Mike. You're Kurt Busch. You were struggling in traffic all day yesterday. Man, my car's not driving the way I want it. Now you're out front and it's perfectly handling
Caution
perfectly.
Is out.
Oh man, not rain.
Raindrops at lap 4. It is more than a mile from one end of the track to the other, so you can easily have a shower down at one end of the racetrack and have it be perfectly dry everywhere else. That is Kevin Harvick's pit sign. I think they might want to put it upside down for a bit here. Tricky the Fox is the mascot of Pocono Raceway. This must be one of his cousins. Lives on the property in the infield there. We've seen a lot of foxes this year.
Why?
What are you laughing at? The four-legged kind, right?
Yeah, but no, Darlington. Wasn't there a fox at Darlington?
That's right.
Pit road's open, so they're getting ready to come at you, Kelly and Marty.
And you'll see the leader there, Joey Logano, in that yellow 22 car. He's going to come to pit road. He said he fired off. He was just a little bit tight, especially in 1 and 2, but late into that run, he said the car fell off big time. He said he was in a 4-wheel drift there.
Oh, the huge wreck
so
on pit road. We talked about how narrow it was, and look at this. They're piled up at the end of pit road.
Piled up. There's like 6 cars. You can't even get by. Huge damage to the 48, the 37 we see in there. Unbelievable. This is every crew chief's fear. These pit crew members become like family. You ask them to go out and do their job, and so often we talk about the competition side, how fast you can do their job. But Jeff did a nice job of highlighting how narrow the pit road here in Indianapolis. And it doesn't matter the speed of these cars. They're 3,500 pounds. A 3,500-pound vehicle when they start sliding around. These crew members, all very brave men and women who jump over pit wall week in and week out.
So they're attending to one of the crew members from the 12 team.
Well, that's really scary, obviously. Here's this, they start coming on pit road, and they just all got stacked up right there. One driver had to slow up because of a guy turning into his pits, and then they just all stacked up.
And this is the narrowest pit road on the series.
Yeah.
24 feet. And, you know, cars in their pit boxes taking up a majority of that, some of that. And when a car does get slowed down on, you know, it's a chain reaction, a domino effect that starts way up here. And then look at the cars. There's nowhere for these guys to go because of how narrow that pit road is and affected so many cars.
We also saw a tire got hit there. Those things are 70 pounds that just got thrown in the air there. Great to see a smile on his face. So a thumbs up and a smile. Again, that crew member for the 12 team.
Those guys are warriors. Go over the pit wall. What kind of man? Think about the nerve of that guy. Smiling after that. Wow. Push right there. Joey Logano is giving his teammate. But Denny Hamlin pushing Keselowski on the bottom.
Team Penske looking very strong here. 3 cars in the top 4.
Oh, he's so close to being clear. Didn't quite get clear Keselowski. Now Logano's got the advantage. Keselowski side drafted him.
Yeah, it's critical for Brad to get this lead. He's only got 2 tires versus 4 behind him. Oh, the 12 gets loose up the racetrack.
And the 22 almost into him. He has to check up. They all check up behind him.
And the 4 almost got into 22. Now they're 3 wide.
And around goes the 18. He catches the 19. Mark Truex Jr. into the wall.
Straight. Get going. They're wrecking behind it. Pick it up a little bit.
Contact. Cole, Custer involved.
From the highest of high to now the low. Cole Custer wins at Kentucky and now wrecks out at Texas.
And that wreck started at the front of the pack on the exit of turn 4, and the wreck didn't happen until almost the start-finish line. It just bottle jammed everybody up.
Chris Buescher was having a really good day. It's just a bobble right there, and he has to get out of the gas.
And Joey all the way out of the gas. Harvick out of the gas.
So watch the 10 down there on the bottom. The 1 and the 10 turn. Yeah.
Yep.
That's there.
Nothing intentional. It's just they're all three wide, and when your cars are that close to each other, the air moves your car around a little bit. You're not in complete control.
Yeah, we haven't got a good look at that 18 car, but I'm surprised that the front splitter's still on that thing after that trip through the grass. Byron's spinning out of control here.
Oh, Buescher, did he make? Yeah, he made contact. He's been fast.
Yeah.
Had the trouble with the
There
fueling.
you see the 42 going through the picture there with a lot of damage, a lot of smoke from Matt Kenseth's car.
See right there, Joey with a great job. And just everybody behind him, there's nothing you can do at this point. And everybody has to go somewhere, run into each other, and then look how close everybody is and just not enough room. Watch that 18 car.
Man.
Yeah, that's
Truex got in the fence hard there.
Yeah, he did. They got hit hard.
Yeah, that's a bad angle.
Stenhouse Jr.
We'll ride along with Kevin Harvick.
Easy, go low, go low. Hold your line here, inside, 3 wide top, tight, 3 wide top. Keep digging, keep digging, keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. They're clear, yellow's out. Top is clear. Stay middle here. Stay middle of the 18.
Yeah, Kurt was trying to stay out of the quarter panel. He was trying not to hit the 10 car, but really just didn't have the room.
Look at that. Yeah, there's got to be damage on that 18 car.
I'm telling you, the splitter actually held up pretty well considering what we usually see going through there.
And listen into the 19 radio.
You okay, bud? I got the wind knocked out of me. 12 got out of shape over there. Kyle made it 3 wide. He got spun and flipped you. I cranked it left as hard as I could out of the dog leg to stay away from him.
Yeah, caught his breath. And all right, guys, a red flag condition, meaning they are sitting there with the cars not running, no air moving through these cars now.
Yeah, this is the worst situation to be in when the car's that hot on the interior. To have a red flag. Now there's no air moving around from the NACA ducts into the car. The helmet blowers, everything, nothing works.
the way it is intended to work without that air traveling through it. They'll try to make this as quick as possible. NASCAR will try to make this process quick as possible for these guys, but this is excruciating for the drivers in these cars sitting there.
You're looking at the left front fender of the 4. It looks like he had a little bit of damage. I couldn't tell if it was going to rub or not.
There's just a lot of cleanup that has to take place. That's why NASCAR has stopped them right here on the front stretch.
There's a good shot from on board the Monster Energy cam. Side panel from Kurt Busch. Normally gives us great shot under the action. Well, this gives us a pretty good shot sitting still. You kind of see that wrinkle on the left front, right in front of the G on Goodyear. If I'm Rodney Childers, I'm looking at this camera right here, trying to make sure, do I need to pit? Do I not need to pit? You know, even with 115 to go, you don't want to give up the track position, but you know, Jeff, we've seen small rubs, right? Flat tires quick.
Yeah, it's a tough situation to be in. You don't want to give up that track position, but terrified to have a tire rub. 10 cars involved in that wreck. That's how quickly things can change.
Denny Hamlin launching, and Chase Elliott a little bit loose there with the help from Kyle Busch behind him.
Yeah, Chase just didn't get a good launch at all. Almost cleared entirely by the 2 cars on the outside line. Look at the 12 of Blaney trying to get to the quarter panel of Denny Hamlin. But Chase is going to be able to push that Atlanta car back out front. More wrecking.
And around goes the 95 and the 37.
Hard hit.
Into the wall.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, it was awful.
Ryan Preece in the 37.
Fantastic. That's Ryan talking.
Glad to hear that.
Put the winning it down. Man, that's good to see.
Yeah.
That was scary. That's one of those wrecks that when you're watching it, or especially if you're Ryan Preece in that car, the angle at which you're approaching that inside wall.
It was a violent crash.
Scary.
Almost upside down. We see the 17. And look at the AMR team right there. And how about that? Frustration to climb out of the car, but still, man, what a hard hit. And glad to see him be able to climb out of that car on his own power.
It's like a 17. Oh, no, ahead of them. The 95 gets in the wall.
Christopher Bell and Ryan Newman. Looked like Ryan Newman got into. Oh, Christopher Bell trying to get up in front of him. Then they make contact.
Oh.
Poor Ryan Preece. We talked about he's had a string of last place finishes, and wow, such a Junior and I in this booth, when he was heading to that wall, we were both cringing. It's not what you want to see, but it's good to see him get out of that car. Look at this angle of impact.
So violent. 3,400 pounds of race car just thrown up into the air after it bounced off that inside wall.
Rick, I think these are the types of wrecks we're going to see. You know, restarts, we just talked about it. You know, how important restarts were. The 95 tried to block, the 6 tried to push him, and this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, the green car has a terrible left front tire rub.
Caution's out.
Big contact for the 41.
Yep, Cole Custer has hit the wall hard. The back of that car destroyed.
My goodness.
Take it to the garage.
Cole Custer already with a win this year. Got his first win at Kentucky in phenomenal fashion. Passing the veterans on the outside. A late restart. So he's locked into the playoffs. The only problem is he won't finish this race.
Cole always back here, already backed into the fence. Can't see. Looked like obviously the right rear tire was down. Don't know if that's what caused the spin.
So we're hearing fluid in turn 4. They're going to bring the cars to a stop. They don't want to let any more laps go down. It'll be 4 to go when they cross the start-finish line. So now you see they're going to make sure to clean this off. Hopefully have 3 very competitive laps to end this race. Caution has just come out in the Go Bowling 235 at the Daytona Road Course for lightning in the area. We had mentioned the storms coming through. We know that they can race in the rain, but if there is lightning, NASCAR will bring everyone onto pit road. They will stop the cars and they will red flag the race, and that is the situation right now. There has been a lightning strike within the 8-mile radius of the racetrack, and for safety purposes, that is why the caution has come out. They'll bring the cars onto pit road and a red flag will be displayed. Drivers have climbed out of the cars, and the driver, the number 9, Chase Elliott, had this to say about the heat.
Do you want anything, food, anything to eat, anything like that? Not really hungry, but, you know, cold towel and some ice there again. Honestly, like a ice water, you know, like ice in a cup would be nice too on top of the ice bag.
So, Rick, but basically all of this hot talk and my severe lack of talent, well, I was a crew chief and not a driver because it was much more comfortable on top of the pit box.
It looks as though there might be an issue with the track. This concrete track we mentioned earlier, one of the oldest, if not the oldest surface of the NASCAR tracks that we visit on a weekly basis. And we're seeing from Dustin Long, yep, NASCAR confirming that they did repair patches in the restart zone since Saturday's race. And potentially there is an issue with one of those patches. And so now you're seeing these vehicles come up. We're hearing that NASCAR may have to red flag this so that they can take a look at this patch and potentially do something with it. Now, in the past, we have seen them do a quick drying filler. We're also right now seeing that they're grinding away, cutting some of that concrete out of there.
This happened here before. Around 2014, somewhere around there, we had a problem similar to this. It's amazing how fast they can put this compound in there and it'll dry.
So Jeff, sorry, I was actually on the phone with NASCAR and talked to them, and they said this is an area of concern they've had over the last couple days. They've worked on it. They worked on it last night. We have to remember this ran an entire Xfinity race today with the repair that they had in place. So this isn't something that just popped up in 75 laps, but they said that they have some material they can put in there. It's quick drying. It takes about 10 minutes for it to dry back to a raceable condition. So they feel that they should be able to repair that, and they feel that repair should be able to go the last 236 laps without issue, seeing as how we have already run a 200-lap Xfinity race on the repair today. So we're at 275 laps worth of work.
AMR
We've seen this concrete come up before at racetracks. Remember Martinsville affected Jeff Gordon. Went through his radiator.
I don't want to talk about that one.
I said it just
might have been a part of that.
It's happened here at Dover.
Yeah.
Big Murray, right?
2016.
Well, yeah, 2014.
That big old piece right there. Watch it hit this.
And so they don't want that to happen again. And that's why the work is being done here on the track. So that was back in 2014. Steve, as you mentioned, the NASCAR is telling us it takes about 10 minutes to dry once they put it in. They're cleaning out the area right now.
Yeah, so this is an area that they knew existed, and it was of concern, but they have been repairing it throughout the weekend. You know, it made it without issue yesterday. We had a doubleheader race. They repaired it again last night with the hopes of it would once again make a doubleheader race, and obviously it hasn't. For whatever reason, the repair didn't quite last as well. We've run 200 laps of an Xfinity Series, 75 laps of this race. So we're 275 laps in, 236 laps to go. My math tells me that hopefully this will be the only time we need to see it repaired.
Tyler Reddick out front. Now Tyler's going to try to block.
He's in the fence.
Up into the wall he goes. The 18 also in the wall. Aric Jones gets caught up in it as well. The big one does happen. The 47, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., McDowell. Austin Dillon caught up in this. That's Ryan Newman in the 6. Kurt Busch in the 1.
Reddick's going to the inside. I didn't think he was going to get clear when Jones went to help, but he did. He goes up to block into that outside line. Some contact there with the 18, both of them in the fence.
Then behind him, the 24, the 48, the 21. I think all those three got by with no damage. The 24, we got to get another look at him and make sure he didn't get some damage on his right side. But you said it, Junior, right here, Tyler Reddick, clear. Way too aggressive of a block. No way Kyle Busch could really do anything there. And then everything behind it just is complete chaos.
A huge hit by that 37.
Yeah,
It gets
Ryan
turned
Preece.
back up the racetrack.
Yeah, head on into that outside wall for Ryan Preece.
He's had some hard hits this year.
Yes. been a bad year.
Yeah, JTG Doherty Racing has suffered through quite a few disappointments.
Yeah, the contact right there got they loose. Puts them both in the fence. Man.
This Reddick trying to win this race. All right, let's keep an eye on this next shot.
Yeah, watch Jimmie Johnson in the 48.
There's all three of the point guys all right together in the middle of this wreck. Look at William Byron. It doesn't get closer than that.
Man.
Wow. Wow.
That was just stupid. Probably someone that was going to help me a lot there, I reckon. Well, let's friends now, I guess. So figure this out. Homie, we ain't here to make friends. We brought ours with us, all right?
Slide job gone bad. So hate it for our interstate batteries guys. I mean, we were a good car all night long. You know, we made our way to the front multiple times, and we were leading a lot of laps there. And just waiting for the end for business to pick up, and I guess business was starting to pick up, but you know, just not clear. I mean, I saw him coming and even checked up, and we still ran into each other and whatever.
What about this season? I know it's been a real struggle.
Same quote, man. It's still 2020. Nothing's changed.
Pat Kenseth in the middle, though, is going to help Denny.
Clint Boyer on the bottom of the 14. Now contact made. Kenseth came down. The 14 up. The 9 out of shape. Here comes the 22. Logano's going to take the lead away from Denny Hamlin. 2 laps to go.
Bubba Wallace on the outside.
Big run. Contact made again. Bubba Wallace sideways. Can he save it?
William Byron. They're ready.
Now the 22 goes around.
Hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake.
The 20's going to come out now. Big wreck behind him. Bubba Wallace got through. Tyler Reddick hard hit. Jimmie Johnson caught up in the 48.
Yeah, big damage on Jimmy's car.
Could this be it for the 7-time champion? Not making the playoffs in his final year.
Watch William Byron. So there's big contact right there with Bubba Wallace. Then William Byron through the middle. Even more contact with William Byron. I think that's where maybe the 22 car lost the right rear tire. Either that or just got turned around.
Yeah, once Joey gets up the racetrack, watch right here. There's contact all the way off turn 4, coming through the trial. Well, Joey makes a big move. Feeling like he's in really good shape right here. Bubba Wallace to the outside. The 11 is to the back of Joey Logano. That gets him into Bubba Wallace. William Byron makes it 4 wide. Now that's when they make the contact, cut the right rear tire. Matty D could not get slowed down, and that's how quickly things happen at Daytona. Just a point of the race where you can't lift. You cannot lift right there.
Let's listen into the 24.
Denny said it does have a rub. Try to get 88 or 9. Oh, I think that thing's good. Did you just see that shot from the TV? Yeah, I think the left sides are good.
Listen, what if we can get this helicopter to go to the other side of the 24, give us a shot of that left rear tire? That's where they're concerned.
When I saw the TV shot, I was actually more worried, but okay. You know, rubbed all the letters off of that tire, and that was hard contact, but I believe the tire was already, you know, the contact with the 22.
So here's the shot as we work around here to the left side. We're going to take a look at this left rear tire.
It's wrinkled up a little bit, the fender there.
So there's definitely a wrinkle on the fender, but there's air in the tire. But there's also, it looks like a groove on the sidewall.
Yeah, no letters.
From the 21, isn't it, guys?
That's probably what it is. So Jimmie's picked that up. He's going to carry that around the racetrack. I'm sure that temperatures in that car are climbing. He's going to have to make the decision to let these guys go and try to get in behind them and get that piece off the car.
Yeah, that's right there. That's in a bad spot as far as cooling for the engine.
Even as the lead car, it's probably not going to be clean enough air to cool that engine.
And he's going to say, this thing has all of a sudden gotten faster.
And it drives better.
Oh, it's getting hotter. That's not good.
Yeah.
Marty.
It's amazing what these spotters do at Talladega, Rick. They're almost an air traffic controller. Let's listen to Eddie DeHaan, the spotter for Chase Elliott, as he tries to keep the 9 car up front and his teammates behind him.
Lap 108, you're clear. 108 at the line here.
Oh, we got a crash.
48 goes around. The big one happening. The one's upside down.
Big wreck behind you.
Kurt Busch climbed all over the top of the 41 of Custer. The 2 is around. Playoff contenders involved. Kurt Busch won a week ago. He's safe into the round of 8. Everyone else is still fighting for points and positions. The 62, Brendan Gaughan, his final NASCAR race was taking place, and he has severe damage to that car.
14 car has the 48 car out of control through the tribal and gets into the left rear quarter panel and turns the 48.
Yeah, right there, the 14's pushing the 48, gets him turning around. Now, off the right, Kurt Busch way up in the air. Fortunately, came down on his tires. There it starts, right there. That trial, we talked about it earlier, that is the worst place. That's where your car has the least amount of grip around this racetrack.
Thank you. Oh, I'm destroyed. And I just got drove through like 6 times by the 14. So, thank you.
Yeah, it was a wild ride. I mean, that's the nature of this sport. You know, you're on top 1 week with a win and everything's fantastic. And then this week here at Talladega, was hoping for a nice smooth run and to gain some points. And I was just doing my job as a Chevy helper, running top 5. And the next thing you know, I'm going for one of the wildest rides I've ever been in. So thanks to NASCAR safety, my sponsor Gear Wrench this weekend with Monster, with Chevy. We're just trying to do the Chevy thing and get some points out of that stage. But it's just Talladega, man. It's wild rides, always continue.
Here comes Chase Elliott in the 9. A lot of speed, a big run. He had a huge push from the 24. Dives low, tries to get by. He's able to make the move, but he did get his 2 left side tires on the inside of the double yellow line. You can't pass below the double yellow line. Oh, and they're behind.
Wow.
Caution comes out before they get to the finish line.
Look who's in it.
Once again, Kyle Busch in the 18. The 4 of Kevin Harvick.
Wow.
Look at the damage to that 18. What a day it's been.
We'll have to see if the caution did indeed come out.
They did not get the white flag, we're being told by NASCAR.
So that means they'll try it again.
They threw the caution
and that's
before
the worst case scenario for the 18.
They're going to red flag it, so I guess not. I have no.
Oh, the 18 gets turned sideways by a push from the 8 car, Tyler Reddick.
'19 caught up in it, Martin Truex Jr. And a lot of damage there to that right front.
We've seen it all day, guys. The pushing from behind, right there. And remember, Reddick has damage to his nose that may have contributed to it a little bit and how he was able to push the 18. Plus, the 18 had damage as well.
Yeah, the 18 car's got a ton of drag and a damaged tailpiece, and the 8 car damaged nose piece probably doesn't line up all that well.
What you want right here? Top line's going to roll here. Top line's going to roll. 22 in the middle, stalled out. There you go. Somebody stay. Keep coming, keep coming. There you go by the line, White.
Joe Gibbs Racing cars involved right there, as well as that 4 of Kevin Harvick. Before the white flag was displayed.
And as this cycles, Kyle Busch is scored currently in 19th position, but as this race moves forward, it'll cycle him back to around 27, 28 spot. He'll continue to lose points. Right now, Kyle Busch is 18 points below the cut line to the 88 car. So those are the 2 guys that are really affected the most, I think, by this incident here.
Win by the 88 would certainly be worst case scenario for a lot of these teams. And just before this restart, the 88 team observed that the clouds were a bit lower in turn 4. They said it looked like the mist was getting heavier. And then just a few laps ago, Alex out in the lead said it is pretty wet out here.
Pretty wet, and they're still, they are going They're going 180 miles an hour, drivers. I mean, are you surprised we're seeing this?
Yeah, I figured it. I mean, with everything on the line and what's at stake here today, I think that, you know, it's a little bit too treacherous.
The precipitation on the lenses of the cameras have told the story, and now the caution has come out, and this is for that precipitation, weather in the area. Now, when we looked at the radar, you don't see anything. This is so low. We talked about the ceiling. The clouds are down, you know, so low. That's where this mist is coming from. We're seeing it on our cameras. You didn't really see it that clearly on the windshield when we were riding along with Bubba Wallace, but there is this precipitation. Now, if it starts to affect, obviously, the racing surface, that's what NASCAR was worried about, and so the caution has been thrown.
Can you see it drying underneath those jet dryers? I don't see the color changing on the asphalt. I don't see where, you know, I don't see anything different behind the truck versus on the left side of the truck where the jet dryer is blowing. So it's a very hard call for NASCAR right here.
Kelly riding along in 36th position. Sorry, Rick, a lap off the pace is the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. He came down on that last opportunity to have the car checked over again. In fact, car chief Cheddar Smith and crew chief Rodney Childers went over the wall to look at it and assess the damage. I don't think anything's really bent in terms of the steering or the alignment or anything, but the body definitely, so they worked on that a little bit. And when this race resumes, they feel like the 4 car will be in decent shape. But again, he's a lap down at this point.
Sorry to jump on you there, Dave, but they brought the field down pit road. They're stopping them on pit road. Looks like a red flag is going to get displayed here pretty soon because of this precipitation that's in the air. There are jet dryers out on the racetrack. The Air Titans aren't out there because there's no precipitation to move. I mean,
there's no water to move.
Yeah, there's no water to move off of the track at this time, but the jet dryers are out there. So we'll see if they're able to stay ahead of any of this precipitation that is still in the air. They're bringing the final cars up, and once they all get stopped, it will be red flag condition here at Texas Motor Speedway. Only 52 laps in to a 334-lap race. When the start of this race happened, it was in the 60s, and now you're seeing the temperature high 40s. It has cooled off. A very different situation here as far as weather.
Yeah, the weather is going to affect this racetrack. This is a track, as you see, the work on the 4 of Kevin Harvick already starting. They basically didn't even pull back on the racetrack. They have this option. This will be pitting with pit road closed, but they don't care about the penalty. The guy in the front, you see a tape measure, that yellow thing below the bottom of the tire. They're going to check the front toe, which is basically, you know, the 2 front tires pointed in the same direction. Are they towed together or towed out? There you have it. Come up with a nice plan. This is what Marty referred to, right? I mean, this is something you wouldn't be able to orchestrate this in the chaos of a race. But for 3 days, Rodney Childers has orchestrated this with his crew. Guys, we're going to pull over, we're going to stop, we're going to check this. Got his driver involved. Kevin, I want you to do this. This is the feedback we need. And you can see, I call that a fine adjustment. When you start working like that with a hammer, that's way more of a fine adjustment